Hey guys, Paul here. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and how it's changed deck building in the game. So as you guys know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has only best of one duels, not best 2 out of 3. And also that means that there is no side decking involved. Now early on this was a major point of contention because people were kind of under the impression that this game was supposed to completely simulate the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG in a competitive way, and obviously side decking and games 2, game 3, those things are very important in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there are a lot of troublesome matchups, no shortage of those in this game, and you need ways to deal with that. If you're playing against a trap-heavy deck, then you need to make sure that you have things like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched, Feather Duster, Cosmic Cyclone, all these different cards. And if you're playing against a combo deck, then similarly you'd want to have access to, Nibiru or maybe board breaker cards like Forbidden Droplets, Dark Ruler No More, whatever that might be. And because you're now forced to kind of just all play one game, this raises some concerns for people. Like, if I'm main decking, say, Nibiru and Maxi, and I play against an Eldritch deck or like a Trap Tricks deck, then these cards are going to be largely useless and they'll just be dead cards, which makes an already pretty tricky matchup even harder. Similarly though, if I'm playing against a combo deck on just this random ranked ladder and they're going off and stuff and I have like Cosmic Cyclones and Harpy's Feather Duster, well those typically are not going to be very useful against most combo decks because those end on a lot of powerful monsters. And it's this whole dichotomy that makes Master Duel deck building feel a little bit different. It's like an entirely different challenge almost. You have to be sort of willing to accept that you need to prepare for both. And that means oftentimes diluting your deck a little bit. And that's something that a lot of players don't really want to have to do, but Master Duel sort of forces you to. You need to have cards meant for going first, like say Called by the Grave or maybe Crossout Designator, that sort of thing. Or just, whatever extenders your deck has if you're playing a more combo-centric deck. But you also have to be prepared to go second because the coin flip is just completely random and you're not really going to get a game 2 or a game 3 scenario. So that means that you do probably need to run at least some form of like board breaking cards so that when you have to go second, you can hope to be able to get your plays through. This even extends to, cards like Kaijus. Those obviously come up quite a bit. And control cards like Book of Moon or Forbidden Chalice can find themselves in a bit of a weird place where they're pretty good in that they can kind of be useful for going first because you can set them, and they can be useful for going second because you can like turn off certain effects. But it also might sometimes feel like they're not going to have as much impact because you'd rather be playing the strong blowout cards. But all of this to me is exciting. Because while at first I was with people and I was like, okay, it'd be cool if there was, best 2 out of 3 in side decking. I still think that that'd be great to see at least for like tournament events in the future for Master Duel. But I actually kind of like the decision-making aspect that it introduces to things, right? Because there is no perfect answer. You don't get to just build a deck for going first and going off with crazy combos and then like siding into the other things for game 2 and 3 because you're not going to get that time. And the same goes for, even going second. You need to be able to contend with what will happen when you're forced to go first. I like the idea that people have to kind of make hard calls, make decisions, decide what cards are most important to you when you are building your decks and what cards are not. Do you need to really be running all these extenders? Do you need to go for these, win more cards in your deck's own innate engine? Would those card slots be better placed for, things that just help you break boards, things that help you fight back against traps? I think that's also why decks like Eldritch and Trap Tricks too were very popular in Master Duel early on. They still are, is because there feels like there's a little bit less risk for decks like that because their game plan doesn't change a whole lot between going first and maybe going second. And I think that some combo decks did struggle in that regard, especially the more, I guess you could call them gimmicky combo decks. Things with like Rongo Miniad, for instance, just struggle to actually manage to go second. I feel like the best decks in Master Duel are the ones that are kind of able to balance both and still play through it all regardless. That's kind of where the Drytron deck seems to be among the most dominant, is because it's able to run, the Called by the Grave and things like that for going first, but also for going second, maining max C and having forbidden droplets still allow them to push through when they need to get their combos going. So all in all, it's just been an interesting thing to watch, to see how deck building in Master Duel feels so much different than deck building in a TCG. It's largely the same game, but like, it's really not. And I like that. So I want to hear what you guys think about it. Have you been enjoying that challenge and sort of different aspect to Master Duel compared to just the regular TCG? Do you think it's like more annoying? Would you like to see it change? Or have you actually been having a pretty good time with it? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.